Saquon Barkley has been announced as the cover athlete for Madden 26. They got the infamous moment on the cover where he defied all laws of gravity and physics, and he pulled off this insane backwards hurdle over Jaguars defensive back Jerry Jones, which, shout out to the Jags. They make their first ever appearance on the Madden cover, and this was well-deserved by Saquon Barkley. He had a historical season his first year with the Philadelphia Eagles. He led the NFL in rushing yards with 2,005. That also was the 8th most rushing yards in the single season. He was an integral part in the Eagles capturing their second Super Bowl in the history of their franchise. And this is the first time in the history of the Madden video game series where they have had two running backs featured as the cover athletes in back-to-back seasons. Christian McCaffrey was on the cover last year after he helped lead the 49ers to the Super Bowl. He was the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year that season as well. But if you're an Eagles fan right now, you got to be really worried about Saquon Barkley being on the cover of Madden when you think about the history of the Madden Curse. Last year, Christian McCaffrey only played in 4 games after rushing for 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns in 2023. And also, Peyton Hillis, when he was on the cover of Madden 12, he had this random season when he just broke out of nowhere. He won the fan vote to get on the cover, and after he was on it, he quickly fell off. Eddie George is the only running back that has been able to overcome the Madden Curse. Saquon Barkley has had injuries in 4 out of the 7 seasons that he has been in the NFL. So although he is the most talented running back in the league, he hasn't always been the most durable. And that's where the concern lies with the Eagles. Running back also has the shortest shelf life out of any other position in the NFL. And it's not too hard to lose a step, especially when you take on the Madden Curse. Can Saquon Barkley overcome it? Possibly, but I'm willing to take the over that the Madden Curse hits and that he does miss a good amount of time. I think the good thing about this is that Howie Roseman does do a really good job at drafting. So whoever the Philadelphia Eagles have as their backup behind Saquon, behind the best offensive line in the NFL, this shouldn't be too huge of a drop-off, but it will be a drop-off in some capacity. Saquon was the conductor for the Eagles offense. When they were performing at their best is when he was dominating. And as good as what he is, injuries are just something that you can't really predict, which is why if I was him, I would have turned down the opportunity to be on the cover of Madden. This is just, listen, you can be one of those people that don't believe in superstitions all you want to, but the last player that I would want on the cover of Madden is Saquon Barkley when he plays a position that just doesn't have a lot of longevity in the National Football League. It's not really worth the risk. You feel me? Even if you say, well, there's been other players like Josh Allen and Lamar who have overcome the Madden Curse. The Madden Curse still got those guys in some capacity because they didn't win a Super Bowl. So the Madden Curse is real. It's not something that's fan fiction. It has gotten a good amount of players that have appeared on the cover, and Ray Lewis appeared on the cover the following season. He had an injury that forced him to miss a good amount of games. Also think back to Sean Alexander, who was on the cover of Madden 07. He was a running back for the Seattle Seahawks. He fell off after gracing the Madden cover. The Madden Curse isn't something that should be taken lightly. And if you play fantasy football, you shouldn't risk drafting Saquon Barkley in the first round. I'm sorry, but when Christian McCaffrey was on the cover, given his injury history, I said, yeah, I'll stay away from him. Just beware about Saquon Barkley if you're playing fantasy football. You can laugh at the Madden Curse being a joke all you want to. until you draft Saquon and he ends up missing 6-7 games because the curse ends up striking. It just is one of those things where, yeah, superstitions are something that doesn't really have any scientific evidence of proven to be real, but you don't want to take the chance anyway. So let me know you guys' thoughts about Saquon Barkley being on the cover of Madden. Will the Madden Curse strike again like it did last season with Christian McCaffrey? Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys shortly with another video.